Tarik Oguzlu is a professor of international relations at Istanbul Aydin University. He joins us live from here in Istanbul. Professor, I just want to touch upon the Black Sea grain deal that Hassan mentioned there, because we heard the Kremlin spokesperson saying that President Putin and Erdogan plan to evaluate the effectiveness of the deal. Given what's happening right now on the battlefield in Ukraine, how safe is the grain deal? Could there be some, I don't know what to call it, retaliation, revenge attack? Because that is the word that Zelensky is using.
I think that's the critical question we have to ask and answer. Particularly is, if you might remember, the deal that was signed in July this year was about 120 days, 4 months. So it is not going to be automatically renewed. So for it to be renewed, it requires the consent of all the parties to the agreement. As the latest developments on the ground suggest, it is critically important that the Russians and Ukrainians will go to cooperate with each other. But at this moment, given the right conditions now on the ground, it is extremely difficult to make sure that Russia will continue to comply with the terms of this agreement, because as you have just pointed out, Russians are quite feeling uneasy with the terms of the agreement, thinking that they are cheated, and the international community has not allowed yet the import of Russian food resources and fertilizers. And Turkey has made it very quite clear that Russian concerns need to be taken into account for Russia to go on with this agreement. So I am quite skeptical about the continuation of the agreement, because the Ukrainian side in the war had already organized a counter-attack on Russian forces, and the Russian authorities might decide to respond to such kind of increasing Russian Ukrainian assaults on the ground by withdrawing from the agreement. This is quite likely and possible. That's why President Erdogan's visit to Uzbekistan and talking to President Putin bilaterally is quite important and significant, because these are the two leaders who will find the opportunity to talk to each other and find a way to get rid of all kind of obstacles.
And Professor Tarik, just more broadly, how important is it for President Erdogan to be there, and for Turkey to serve as what's described as a dialogue partner in the Shanghai Cooperation Organisation?
I think, as Mr. Abdullah has already underlined, Turkey is not quite happy with the ongoing dynamics of global politics, thinking that the Western international actors are not reaching the norms and values of the international liberal order. So there are many issues on which Turkey finds itself in common with Russia, China, and other members of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. But this should not be mistakenly considered as the fact that Turkey is saying goodbye to its Western international community, the links to NATO or the European Union, and sailing towards Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or joining forces with the rising powers of East Asia. Turkey is still a member of NATO, and Turkey's ongoing accession process with the European Union is quite important. And many high-level Turkish authorities have made it very quite clear that Turkey doesn't have any intention to withdraw from NATO or to stop the EU accession process. But from Turkish perspective, Turkey's membership in this Western international organization is a kind of leverage it has in dealing with the rising Eastern nations. But as you have just pointed out, there are many issues on which Turkey shares in common. The primacy of the Western international community and the way how Eastern nations are treated across the globe. So those countries should be given more say and opportunity in global politics. On this point, Turkey is on the same page with this Chinese and Russian authorities.
All right, well, fantastic to get your analysis and to give us context to this summit taking place right now in Samarkand. Thank you so much, Tarik Oguzlu from Istanbul Aydin University. Appreciate your time and analysis.